Just right into the camera.
Like this close?
Good.
Hey guys, it's Ryan from Death Sentience. Come to our shows in November 27th at Battis Renee's in Tulsa. Get closer.
Yeah, there you go.
10th.
At the spot.
At the spot. December 10th at the spot in Enid, and then February 12th.
Should we have Reese do this?
Yes.
This is Reese Wagner from Death Sentience. Come and check us out November 27th at Battis Renee's, December 10th at the spot, and February 12th at Reno's Chop Shop.
Don't look at me.
I don't know why I
at the
have to
camera.
look away. I just have to.
Y'all want another interview? Do ya? Do ya? Oh, no. What is up, my dudes? It's your boy Skinny Penis back with another one. Today we have the interview with Death Sentience, a local Oklahoma City death metal band that, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated local bands in this state. They just released their second album, The Human Condition, and it is fire. So check out the interview. We talk all about it. We, bullshit as usual, make a couple jokes here and there. And yeah, we do the thing. Watch the thing. Shit. So, first of all, thanks for coming. And sorry about the address thing again.
That was fun. We're glad to be here.
We made it, so.
Yeah. Alright, so let's just get started on it. Let's get to know you guys a little bit since you haven't been on the channel with us, and then we'll get into your music a little bit more. So let's just start from the very, very beginning. Not your births, but the beginning of the band. How did you guys meet, and what year did the band form?
That would be him.
So, technically, I'm the only original member because I started a band prior to this one that didn't necessarily work out, but technically we're still the same band because we rebranded and renamed ourselves. So, all of us here started Death Sentience at 2017.
I think 2017. Oh, you're talking about all of us, including Braden?
Yeah, Death Sentience started 2019, I think.
Yeah, because it was Fatal Illusion.
Yeah, that's what we started out as.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that started around 2017, and it was our old drummer, me and my old drummer, we're just kind of doing stuff until we eventually found people. And I went to school with Reese. We were friends for a while. I eventually messaged him to see if he wanted to join.
Actually, I saw your guys' video of Nothing Less Than Nothing on Facebook, and I messaged him because I was just looking for anyone to jam with at the time. And I would hit up guitar players and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll come over tomorrow." And I'd be sitting there warming up, and then they'd never come over. And so I was just scroll through Facebook, saw their videos, hey, can I just come by and jam? I don't even care about joining, but I just want to come by and jam. And Alex and Ryan wanted to move more towards metal, and that's just kind of where I ended up. And the more riffs I brought in, the other guitar player, I'm not sure if he was just irritated by the direction or what was happening.
I think it was the direction. I don't know. He's my mom's ex-husband's stepson, so we kind of know each other in a weird way. We knew each other as kids, and I went to the same college as him at the time. We went to NOC in Enid, and we were in pep band together. And he saw me playing bass in pep band, and was like, "Do you want to be in a metal band?" And I was like, "Sure." It took me a little bit to kind of figure out if I wanted to do it. I came to one practice. Reese was there, and then I was like, I don't know. I don't have the right equipment. And then I got a new guitar amp and was like, okay, I want to do it.
Yeah, and I think as soon as she joined, the other old guitarist had actually quit. So I could tell, she was like...
he was all the way quit. The last thing we talked to him about was hitting her up again, and he never came back to a practice.
Yeah.
Because we'd already written 2 new songs without him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, for that instance, technically, we're all 3 original members, because we've known each other forever. And then in 2019, when we created Death Sentience, our old drummer had quit. We just kind of had a difference in direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, we asked Braden come drum for us, and he's been here ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit a really weird dead zone between Fatal Illusion and Death Sentience. We didn't play a lot of shows, and we were coming up with songs, but I was getting more into Archspire stuff and stuff like that, and our old drummer was more on the Megadeth, and
Yeah.
that's why he was named a Fatal Illusion after a Megadeth song, which we just really weren't keen on it being named after a song. And we wanted to move in a certain. All three of us were more into heavier stuff, and he was just more into old classic metal and even like Kiss type stuff. So it was better that we just kind of made the changes we needed to make, and Braden was more into blast beats. And
Yeah.
then we became
He
a death metal
completely
band.
changed the sound.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
I gotta say, no, the drumming on all y'all stuff is fucking amazing.
Thank
so,
you.
especially that new album. We'll get into that later. But I was sitting in my cooler like a retard, like during some of the last beats. I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm thankfully I work alone, so there was nobody in here to witness that. So,
Yeah, that's a whole different worlds with each drummer because they just value different things in playing. Alex was all about volume and loud, which is definitely good for the band he's in, like doom metal and stuff like that.
Right.
But we were just looking more for the 16th note triplet type patterns and
Yeah.
And I can't even. I hate old school metal.
Yeah, he
I can't
does.
stand it. I don't listen. It's boring, and so I will never play that kind
right.
because it's just boring to me.
he liked Limp Bizkit more than.
Limp Bizkit has some pretty catchy songs.
Not.
Right.
I fucking love new metal. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were very impressed by Braden's knowledge of Limp Bizkit when he sang every song word for word coming back from a show.
You know,
Yeah.
An entire album.
Oh, album is the Chocolate Starfish album.
That's the one everyone knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome. All right, so y'all can answer individually or as a band, but if you had to pick, say, 3 bands or artists who inspired your sound, who are they?
Let's start over there. There you go. Around.
Well, if we had to pick like 3, I feel like Origin may be our biggest influence.
Probably Origin and Dying Fetus is a tie for
Yeah.
a spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Tempo changes and everything.
like because we're all really big fans of Origin. I feel like you're a decent
Yeah,
fan of Origin,
yeah.
but we've always been impressed by their technicality and speed and just like how proficient they are and how fast they're playing. So I think that is a general band
I just love
influence.
abrasive, to a certain extent, raw type metal. I don't like overproduced. I mean, just that type of stuff. And
Yeah.
Origin fits that a lot. It's a genuine sound.
I'm not sure as like a general band influence who else we would really say because we all have very different influences.
Right.
Yeah.
I
But
know Faith listens to more like black metal. And
Yeah, I like
slam.
some black metal. I
You listen to
really
some
had a
terrible
slam.
she
Yeah.
listens to good music.
I had
Well,
a
it's black metal, so.
like Full of Hell and like I had a really big slam phase and like Parasitic Ejaculation is my favorite band.
Ugh.
I love the little like groovy riffs.
Yeah.
And then of course like my own bass lines. I started out like this was the first time I ever played metal. I had always like been listening to metal like I don't know, I was like a deathcore kid, you know, so just like Suicide Silence and Rings of
Same
Saturn,
here,
stuff,
same
stuff
here.
like that in high
Yeah.
school.
Whitechapel.
Yeah, totally Whitechapel. And then
Yeah.
more like Parasitic Ejaculation, Varamia, I don't know, it was there's a Swedish band
It
I
doesn't
don't-
narrow it down.
I know it doesn't, but it was called Slam Before Time was their album.
Okay.
I don't know, it was a weird album, but just like stuff like that was like really gross. But my own bass lines were probably just Black Sabbath, you know, like the bluesy stuff that was really easy for me because I had already been playing jazz. That's kind of my bass line influence mostly.
Right.
And my favorite band's Defeated Sanity.
Yeah.
Which is also slam. I love slam too. We don't do a whole lot of slam, but I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Past like Origin to Dying Fetus, it's kind of hard to pinpoint our influences.
Right.
I think Archspire's in there a little bit somewhere too.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
Archspire is just so impressive you cannot be inspired by them.
Cat'll be cat, maybe.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
say
yeah,
Cattle
yeah, yeah.
Capitation would be another big influence.
Good answer.
Yeah. That's definitely, like, when I think about the intro for Genie, has the feel of Plagueborn slightly, and
Yeah.
that's probably what I was listening to when I did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of the going from the dissonant chord to the fast tremolo picking, I always thought just sounded so badass. And I don't like to rip riffs off, but at the same time, I will get inspired enough to play the same general idea
Yeah.
and try to make it my own.
Right.
So probably Origin, Archspire, and then probably Cattle Decap would be our 3 best answers.
Like the technique that I use to play like fast on my feet, heel toe. I got it from John from from Origin.
Okay.
Like from watching him and his drum. Like he's been on a couple YouTube channels showing like how to do it and stuff like that. I think maybe he even has his own or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, that Martin Jovovich or whatever the name is.
And like just watching it over and over and over and practicing like 3 months or something, and then it's just, I mean, it's not even close to him, but it's a lot farther than where it was.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. All right, so tell me about the first show that you four played as Death Sentience,
That's
and
spot.
please
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
it be juicy.
I think it was the spot. We all played a show together.
Is that the one that?
I think
With
it's
the
the one
money?
where your
Where-
mom started throwing
Yeah.
tips at us.
Oh.
And everyone did.
No,
Yeah.
her brother was throwing dollar bills at us
Yes,
because
yes.
me and Reese had actually taken our shirts off and were like dancing and stuff.
So that
And
meme
someone-
wasn't all that far off.
No, not at all.
Like,
No, that actually happened.
It did happen.
Well, there was a picture of me with like just a dollar bill sticking out of my collar, and I looked so serious. But there's like dollar bills, like
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
a stripper. It was weird.
My family likes to come to the shows, and my mom likes to have fun at the shows.
Oh yeah.
So she was definitely encouraging everybody and giving everyone dollars. Be like, oh, go throw this dollar, you know. It was really funny, but everyone did join in, so it was worth it. I pocketed quite a few.
Yeah, we
It ended
ended
up
up like
being-
$50.
No, it was $70.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
was
am pretty sure it was $70
It
in
was,
tips.
it was
Yeah. And that one actually wasn't long after Braden joined. I think it was maybe a month, 2 months,
It was a month or two.
yeah.
and he just stone cold killed it. Like
hmm
I'm pretty sure he was as expressionless as he still plays today.
We,
Yeah.
we didn't play Systematic Annihilation. I think it was all old songs.
It
Because
was
we
all songs.
hadn't
We
recorded
hadn't
that song until he'd been in for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It was something though. I remember being nervous at first because like Braden is so weird about learning songs because he played the album, knows the whole song, but then be like, hey, let's play Evil Never Dies, but he doesn't know what the song titles are.
Yeah.
So I was so nervous, like, are we gonna even like play the right song when we start the song? Or he still sometimes doesn't know. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but
He's definitely much more muscle memory than
It's-
he is
yeah.
about thinking about it.
Yeah.
Once he hears it, then it clicks for him.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well at first show.
Oh, I was
When
nervous
we're doing
first.
sound check, then we'll play like part of a song just to make sure it sounds good. And they're like, all right, let's play the chorus of Evil Never Dies.
Which one's
It's like,
that?
yeah.
I know. It's like, okay,
How's that
just
start
play.
again?
You
Yeah,
know?
but then like as soon as I hear it, it's easy. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's kind of how I play too. It's like I
Second
don't
nature.
count. I don't count. So it's just like I just feel it and I hear it and I'm like, I hope I'm right. And usually I am. So
Oh, I'm way
me and
too
Braden are
backward.
kind of on
I
the
have
same
to.
page.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was definitely nerve-wracking though. I was so nervous about the first show because I did not know the song titles, and it
But
was
it-
like a silly thing to be nervous about. But I was like,
It turned out
Okay.
perfectly. Like
I mean, a set list doesn't do much good if you don't know the names of the songs.
yeah.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It was just like, okay, we'll just go up there and play it in the same order we practiced at
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it sticks.
And I think that very next show after that is when we met you guys.
I
When
think
we did
so.
the March of Ides.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was also when he was still listening to you for reference in the songs.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He wasn't listening to the guitar riffs at all because he could only hear your vocals over the drums.
Yeah.
So we had a drummer that was playing only to the singing,
Mhm.
which was weird, which is the opposite on the new album.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need me anymore.
Yeah.
But back then it was a little different. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that at the time, you know, but
Thank
Well,
goodness.
I'm different.
yeah,
He's built
that
different.
was for
Yeah.
sure. That was a weird
That's
phase.
okay with the way you drum. Nobody cares.
Right.
Well, now it's way more thought out. Like, it's kind of hard to mess up, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So when people listen to Death Sentience, what is the message in the music that you hope they get?
It really depends on what song I'm writing. Because with Human Condition, it was just a lot of the kind of shitty things I had seen throughout the year. Because it was like the beginning of COVID. There was like Jeffrey Epstein. Just kind of like
Yeah.
garbage stuff going on in the world. So when I write that stuff, it's kind of like those things in mind, but I also leave it open-ended so they can decipher it how they think it should be or how they should act upon it. So it's not anything in particular. It's more so just what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling, what do they think about it, and what they should do about it.
Okay.
So nothing really in Death Sentience per se, but
Okay.
Yeah, we
it's
also
very
I
broad.
feel like we also kind of focus on contrast between like. I mean, we do definitely lean more towards the nasty and dirty things. It's a metal band, but I mean, kind of like with the idea of the name being Death Sentient, like two things that don't really go together, And our original picture was like a zombie and then like a woman's face,
Yeah.
Kind of like that light and dark, whatever,
And-
push and pull nature.
Yeah, totally.
And I do kind of try to keep that in mind with the things I write about, because it's like, yeah, these are horrible things, but there's stuff you can do about it. I'm not trying to make you listen to this and make you feel the way I feel about it. More so trying to get you to react and to make that change because of these horrible things. So I kind of add that contrast to it, but
Yeah, I think the push and pull kind of reflects in our music too, because we're just we'll have a really driving beginning part, and then we'll go into we're gonna do a random soft part here. Let's just stick it in, just stuff like that, and then go back into a brutal, cool ending. I think it reflects in our music and our lyrics and our whole theme for the band.
Mm-hmm.
I just hit things. That's what I do. I asked that none of the lyrics go against God, because I'm the only Christian out of these heathens, but I mean, they respect my beliefs enough to not do that, but then I'm just the drummer.
What?
You relate to that, don't you?
Oh yeah, no. I just tell me when and where to hit things.
Yep. He's my drummer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, I related to the whole not knowing the names of songs. It's like, please don't change up the set list day of. Like, I'm screwed.
Man, all right, segue real quick.
No, this ain't about us.
No, this is about you now.
Oh.
So we only had 4 song sets when we were in that band together. So maybe 5, something like
Yes,
that.
years back.
Yeah. So, we always opened with the same song for the first 3 or 4 shows, and then we decided we wanted that to be the closer. And we wanted to open with a different song that started with a bass roll, and then he was supposed to join, and then the guitar comes in. I did this fucking bass roll by myself for 45 seconds, just come on, Alex, come on. I think I finally turned around, dude, and then he's like,
I was like, oh yeah, it's a different song.
It's just like a dramatic Slipknot thing. They'll stop and they'll play.
I was like, come on, dude, we only get 20 minutes. Come on.
So
we didn't write short songs.
yeah.
No.
We didn't write short songs. I think our shortest one was 4.5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So
We don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a similar problem. We have a couple, but
fucking 11-minute song on that first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and
I mean, it
monstrosity.
slaps, but still, I mean, I saw that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't commit to a 30-second YouTube video. What the hell?
Well, Alex's thing was he liked how, in Metallica, there'd be parts that just kind of repeated over and over again. He was really into that sort of style where I'm kind of on the opposite end. I like stuff like Origin or Archspire where almost never repeats. It happens 4 times. They have a transition into another part,
And then we still make 5-6 minute songs now.
We do still make 5-6 minute songs, but
I mean,
there
I was
are
okay with
many
it.
different parts.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't get bored with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is because there is different shit, and that's why I'm not complaining about it. I wouldn't have listened to the album 18 times, something like that. I don't know. A lot.
That's definitely what we wanted
Yeah.
with the album. Is we not only do we want people to enjoy diversified stuff in our music, but we can't write monotone stuff.
Yeah.
We have to switch things up. Almost every new song we write, we're like, all right, what can we do different this time?
Well, and we'll be playing a part, and if it just feels too much like something else or boring or sounds like something else, it's just already in the trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I was going to wait till we were talking about Genie, but Genie was a song. We were 5 minutes of material down for it and just got rid of all of it and started back from one part we liked.
Yeah.
It was really depressing, but at the same time,
It
felt
worked
necessary. The only reason the album took 2 years is because of Genie.
Don't worry, we'll be talking about Genie in a little bit because I have some questions about Genie.
That's one of the ones I'm the most proud of.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, we'll get into that. In a little bit. Okay, so moving on a little bit more into your music. You guys talked about it a little bit, but from a listener's perspective, this album was a lot angrier, to me anyway.
Yes.
However, I am a very subpar musician, but I am a musician, and you guys seem to have also pushed yourself much harder as far as what you could do.
Oh yeah.
And wow, I lost my notes. Okay, cool. While you were writing this album, was there like something like a kind of goal you had in mind as far as like pushing further this time?
Well, with this album, we definitely had a lot more of a joined vision. So maybe not so much as push.
Because I feel like the pushing ourselves was always there, but what we wanted to do was just so much different than what the drummer wanted to do. He was still focused on the big choruses because he liked neurotic so much that like every chorus started to become, hey, let's hold out a big note instead of like having busy stuff going on and stuff like that, to where it just became every chorus was like dun dun, just like these big, more open-ended things.
And we were still kind of figuring out kind of what we wanted to do in that kind of first album period.
Mhm.
So once we eventually started getting to writing the second album, it was, we all kind of knew what we wanted, and it was more kind of like we had more gusto with it. It wasn't really, we had to really push ourselves too much. Though we did try to make some very difficult parts.
Yeah, well, there's parts like I could not play them when I wrote them, but I knew I wanted to play. There's a lot of that.
Yeah. I think the most Reese and Braden pushed himself the most, definitely, because Braden hadn't actually played for a while.
Systematic at first was like almost an unplayable song for him.
Yeah.
And then it went to being like the easiest song ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Braden's jumped leagues and bounds since he joined the
Definitely.
band. Like, he is beyond a good drummer. And then Reese definitely did some very challenging parts. So I'd say they pushed themselves more than really any of us.
Yeah, I went to NOC for music and I started taking bass lessons my second year. I was just doing like drum stuff because that's what I did in college and stuff. But I had a bass professor that was like really chill, really cool, and he wanted me to, like, our lesson plan was basically what did I want to learn, what could help me in my band and stuff. So he started teaching me some tapping stuff, and I started doing some more like chords and like just stuff like that, picking out stuff, and it kind of came out in the album with my writing. It was just a lot different, I guess more advanced in my bass playing.
She's already absurdly good.
Well, I think it helps
I know.
because we don't have two rhythms, so it helps
Yes.
with her doing more rhythm techniques.
Mm-hmm.
I have to like complement the drums and then play with the guitar at the same time. It's kind of what my goal is with my bass lines and stuff. It's not really my bass part, it's like me and Braden's part and me and Reese's part. How do they sound together?
It's kind of like sometimes the song calls for something,
Yeah.
like nothing else goes but that pattern or that riff or something like that. And if you play it faster, it doesn't sound as good. If you play it slower, it's just like it has to be that.
Or even like in Human Condition where we stopped and we just had to have a part. Like originally it was going to be 500 BPM. Okay, I was waiting for Human Condition because like we ended up recording. We recorded that part at 200 BPM, but it's really a 400 BPM like feel, and that's why we kept the snare on just like one beat, so it kind of grooves like a 100 BPM part. So it's not just lost on the listener, because if you just play a 400 BPM part where everything's going 400 BPM,
It kind of just sounds like noise.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this was unintentional, but I watched an Adam Neely video after we'd recorded the album. And he talked about how like 100 BPM is like your walking speed, so that's like what you groove to the most. And that part, even though it's like the fastest part in the album, actually grooves like 100 BPM part, like someone will walk to, so it ends up sounding way better. The snare just on one count.
So we got a little off topic there.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Cool.
Okay. So, how long would you say the writing process of this album was?
A long time.
3 years?
I think it might have been about 3 years, because we started, I mean, if you count, well, let me think about
I would
that.
only say
I
that's
had
two.
Systematic. We finished that and put it out as a single October 2019,
Yeah.
and then
It's about 2 years. It's about 2.5 years, because we started writing some songs, but we threw them away.
Yeah.
With Alex.
Yeah.
We started writing Brain. If you count the whole process, it's about 2.5 years. But honed in for about a year and a half because I had to teach him the old songs, like note for note.
Right.
Mhm.
And then start writing. And we started recording as we were writing. And yeah, it ended up, like, writing ended like a month before it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Left in the Shallow Grave is still a pretty new song for us to play.
Yeah.
That was the last song written anyway.
Okay. That is actually one of my favorites off the album, though.
And it's weird because I didn't think, because like everything else kind of has something behind it. Left in the Shallow Grave was like, this part sounds cool, this part sounds cool, and put them all together. It's like, okay, it's the most exhausting song on the album now. You know what I mean? Because like, I was like, oh yeah, there's no breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it definitely helped. Like, the way we recorded it was a little different from how we played it, and it turned out just leagues better than we thought it would. So we were very pleased with that
Oh
one.
yeah, I think it sounds best recorded out of all of them. It's just the
Yeah.
most exhausting song. Like each part is good on its own, like easy enough to play, but then all together, like especially with the weird syncopation part, my wrist just starts to hurt by the end of it every time. It's the only song I'm not used to playing all the way through endurance wise. I mean, I can, but shit.
Yeah.
You know, every time, like in that slam part, I have to tell myself just not to be a pussy and make it through it. Because it's so much easier to do the solo after that than it is to play that part.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 2 years.
Cool. If you could sum up what this album is all about in a few words, how would you describe it?
Humans are trash.
Fair. I agree with that
Yeah.
statement.
I disagree, but I'm just the drummer.
Genies have fat
Oh,
weenies.
most humans are trash. That a little better?
Oh, he said all humans are trash. We have our YouTube tagline now.
Slash humans are trash.
There we go.
Very
That's just
pessimistic.
It
The
is.
next one's gonna be all optimism though. This is
Yeah.
just this is the metal album, and the next one's gonna be like a
Humans are neat.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
like that one Anal Cunt album. What is it called? Picnic of Love.
yeah. I was thinking like Marvin with vocals, but okay.
Oh, okay.
Sing about
I
hippie
know.
stuff,
Oh,
like
I had a way different
recycling,
idea.
like do what Cow Decapitation did, but like more extreme.
Oh,
Only focus
Yeah.
on happy.
I'll just Botox my face while I'm always smiling.
Yes. Or Taylor. Oh, Taylor Swift's too negative actually. I don't even know any
All
positive.
she does is gripe about
Yeah,
some
she's
dude.
I know. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I was
Taylor
like-
Swift, but she's actually like
You know,
mad.
hang off topic, but you know, like, you ever listen to someone and you're just like, low key, you sound like you're the problem?
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I listen to Taylor
But she
Swift.
probably makes an
I'm
excuse.
just like, dude, like, it sounds like if every dude you've ever been with is a toxic piece of trash, then maybe you're the toxic one.
All of pop punk.
I'm just saying she has to make her money. She's the problem on purpose.
Well, it's hard to have a good relationship when all your girlfriends are under your age, so. Let's...
You're like, why are you mad? I sucked his dick.
That'd be a pretty weird album though. Like her next album is just all about her problems. Like
We
How
wouldn't
she
know
has
what to
committed
do if
problems
she
or
was
something
actually
like that.
happy.
Yeah.
Well, she would have the same fans because the girls.
Well, yeah,
who-
that's Taylor Swift going full Adele. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, because now her
She ain't got a
her
voice
fans
for it.
can't target their boyfriends anymore. Now they're the target, and they'd feel attacked if she talked about her problems.
No, they'd be like, oh my god, relatable.
we're probably gonna get attacked by Taylor Swift fans.
That's fine. We're
I
ready
hope
for
Oh
it.
no, I'm gonna have to cut all this out. So
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
Oh, man, save it. Save this.
We were ready to
Fuck Taylor
attack.
Swift. I already finished one more. I'll go to another one. I'm ready.
Only
Just like
comments
beat
that
the
part.
word Taylor Swift.
Yeah, bleep it.
Yeah.
The reason
No,
that
just the T and the S. Just it.
Yeah.
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 the reason it doesn't work with guys is because she's probably gay.
That's sciences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faith is.
Mic drop.
Now we're gonna have to cut it because now Faith knows her secret.
Yeah.
No one can know
I
I'm a
can't smoke
lesbian.
music. Never mind. I was
That
like,
was
this
a
guy's
great impression of Taylor Swift.
I didn't know her voice was so deep.
Alright, so enough about Taylor Swift.
The name was
Yeah.
used way too much in like 2 minutes.
She's gonna appear if we keep saying it. It's like
I know.
Beetlejuice.
Or
You
like
say her name too many
Candyman.
times.
Yeah.
She's gonna pop up like, you broke my heart!
Oh god.
Anyway,
I mean, if she wrote a song about us, that'd be great. 'cause
really
that'd be
good
the best-
publicity.
That'd be the best publicity ever. She
Oh,
has like
definitely.
what 80 million monthly listeners.
Who
I
knows?
mean, she probably gets listened to 200 million times a month. So,
Damn.
that would take us to like most listened to death metal band just right there.
Yeah. By hate alone.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, if you're watching this.
We'd have to like change our addresses and but at least we have a little more money.
Yeah.
We'd have to hide in a cabin in the woods, but you'd have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Breaking Bad.
So, do you have a favorite song off the album, either just from a listener perspective or just one you like to play most?
That's a pretty hard question.
It's a hard
I
question.
feel like for me, it might be Left in a Shallow Grave or Genie.
That's what I was gonna say. Those two
Those
for me.
two.
Mangled is fun to play.
Yeah.
Mangled
Like,
is super fun to play.
I actually love playing all of them because at
Yeah.
one point in time, Die was just like the funnest song to play for me, period. But I think I have to say Genie and Human Condition.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. Human Condition is, I think, the fastest that I play. It's the hardest song
Probably.
that I play.
It's hard to pick because we really, like, it wasn't tough for us to write these except for, like, like the technical aspects. We enjoyed every part. We love playing them. We love listening to them. So it's hard
Depends
to
on what you
pick.
define as tough.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of rough, like hard to either nail or like what would actually come after this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But playing it now, I mean, it's fun. We love all the songs.
Every time we like got finished recording one, we were like, man, that's like my favorite one now.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like
After every song,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we said that.
Yeah, I mean honestly, because even Stagnant Stench, I get really into playing the chorus.
Oh, yeah.
mhm. Stagnant is super fun.
Oh yeah.
So, we talked about it a little bit off camera about the difference in between this album and the previous. So, safe to say you're way more proud of this album
Yes.
than
Yeah.
the previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a way better foundation for what we sound like, what we want to promote ourselves as, just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like even from the album artwork perspective, because it was someone wanted to keep it black and white last time for cost reasons, for whatever reason, even though we've never even run into an issue with cost when it comes to having color on an album.
Mhm.
I don't know. It was a weird reasoning, but just like having album artwork actually made by somebody, just the whole vibe of the album is just more
Yeah.
genuine. It feels like a real product.
Like
Mhm.
even writing it, we never argued. We never disagreed on anything. I mean, it was like small nitpicks, like maybe we should do this instead of this, but we were just very proud with everything that came out of this.
And our environment recording it wasn't like a by the hour, like a studio.
Super chill, cool
Yeah.
guy.
He let us he just charged us a certain rate per song, and we would sit there and work it out with them until we liked it.
Yeah.
Where did y'all have it recorded?
Through a friend in Enid.
Evan Parrish
Yeah.
is in his little room.
Yeah.
It's just his bedroom, and he doesn't have a whole lot, but
I
No.
mean,
I mean, evidently he's got enough. It sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
my bass was just plugged straight in.
it
So,
was literally on
like-
the most basic Focusrite you
Yeah,
can order off
totally.
the internet.
I've
Yeah.
always much preferred just to plug straight in. I don't want to fuck
One of
with
these?
mics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
except,
Yeah.
except it's a 2-port, not a 1-port.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the
We
exact
used
same
that
thing.
to record all the music we never released.
Here we go. We should put that on the camera so we get sponsored by Focusrite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
You can do it yourself.
Sponsored by I'm kidding, unless.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I get to say sponsored by.
Yeah.
and then Renee.
not until they sponsor us.
No.
But I mean, there was almost no stress working
No.
with Evan. It was really awesome.
I mean, he's pretty good at all the production and stuff because I mean he runs. I guess you would say just a studio band.
Mm-hmm.
Rock,
Yeah, he
Rock
has his
Island.
own Rock Island.
Yeah,
band.
it's cool. It's
He does everything in it though.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was very used to doing all the instruments and
Okay.
stuff. So
He does his own vocals, his own guitar tracks and bass tracks, and
yeah,
he has Garrett come in to sing if he wants her to sing on the track.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he wants Ryan to come in and sing on the track.
True.
you flipped me off when you did that.
I
Are you
did
mad
not.
about
I
that?
did this.
Mhm. Sure.
Whatever.
We'll check the footage later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In slow motion.
I want to see that part.
You can edit that in, right?
Oh,
Like
100%.
Slow-mo, his hand moving out.
Yeah, zoom way in.
Yeah.
Flipping me off.
He wants Ryan to come in and sing on. He wants Ryan to come in and sing on. He wants Ryan to come in and sing on.
But yeah, I'll be guest vocaling on his band. A
Cool.
little bit.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about a few of the tracks. I want to hear about Mangled Flesh a little bit. Tell me about how you went about writing that one.
Oh, man.
That was
That
one of the first
a long
ones.
time ago.
Second one when we wrote for the album.
I mean, we can talk
After
about another
Systematic
one
was-
if you
that was
want, but
No, it's
No,
fine.
it's
we
good.
can
It's
talk about
start.
Mangled. It just doesn't have as much of a story as like Genie or Human. I think Human and Genie, I have the most memories about writing.
we'll talk about Genie in a minute.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I've
Genie
got
definitely has some-
special questions for Genie.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Mangled was a weird song because even when we were done with it, I didn't like how that sweet part sounded at first, or like how it transitioned into it, and so we added the chords and stuff like that. Like some of the ideas in that one, I felt like were kind of old for how we were writing towards the end of the album. Even though I liked it, because like that whole 4/4 3 times and then play a 5/4 turnaround part, in the verse, and I can't remember where I got that from. Like I had an inspiration. It was either like Cryptopsy or Suffocation. I just wanted a really kind of grindy, off time part, and I was just really inspired by some Suffocation. I think it was a Suffocation song or something. You know what I mean? Or Cryptopsy.
Yeah, because that was one of the first ones we wrote.
Just wanted it to sound super abrasive and blast beats, tremolo picking. Just wanted to be the most aggressive song ever.
I remember whenever we first wrote it, I was like, man, I'm singing really fast in this.
Yeah.
Until we wrote Left in Shallow Grave, and I was like, man, now this is pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah. That was the first time I did like any like out of the box things for me. I do like a cool little tapping part during the chorus where he's holding out those chords. Yeah, I was really proud of that one. That one I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna be writing all my bass lines for this album.
Yeah, that was like a new standard when we made it.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird scratching it because I remember when we played it for the first person we were going to record for, he was looking at us like, you want this many time changes? Like at first it was like,
Yeah.
like, do you guys know what you're doing? Is it supposed to be off time? And I mean, it was a little bit of a weird experience, but
I mean, it turned out great at the end.
yeah, we ended up getting it scratched and made anyway. So I mean, I don't know. It does have a lot of time changes, and I could see where that would come from. But this is how we want it to be.
right.
Die was another one of the first ones. I remember we had a lot of cattle decapitation vibes with that one starting out.
For me, it was definitely Dying Fetus, because that was the first point where I was like, I want some tempo changes, because I didn't remember what I was listening to, but I was like, I want to go up and down, left to right on like what tempo we're playing in the middle of a song, because the intro is the tempo change, the next part is blah blah blah,
I think it was around when I started doing a little bit, trying to like do deeper, more like
Well, yeah, you
projecting
pig squeals
vocals.
on it.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
the first. I actually figured out how to do pig squeals like a couple months before.
I was very happy to hear him.
Yeah, I just came across them by accident. I was just like practicing in my car, and I just rolled my tongue up, and I was like, "Wait, I can do pig squeals!" So, as soon as I could, I think it was either after Systematic, I just threw that part in, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, I was 10 feet in the air on a ladder when I heard that for the first time. I just stopped what I was doing. I was like, hold up, what? I went back and I'm like, am I still? Yeah, it's still the same album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to throw those curveballs
Yeah.
here and there.
Well, good thing that one didn't knock me off the ladder.
Yeah, for sure.
It was also the first song I ever really integrated a sweep part. And I remember really wanting to do that because I was just now when we were writing that, I had just got good at sweeping, like good enough to play it. You know what I mean? Because
You had been posting those videos of you practicing like
Yeah.
3 and 4 string sweeps.
yeah, I had to. Like I just wanted to put it on the album. There's so many sweep parts I was inspired by, so we did that one, and then we had Braden do the snare roll into the hi-hat on my accent and just try to syncopate it to where it just sounded really deliberate and punchy, especially for like shows and stuff. And I like that whole progression from the sweep to the slam to the verse 3. It's completely different than verse 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I love scaring the shit out of people with the pig squeals live.
Yeah.
They do not expect it at all.
They are abrupt.
Yeah.
That one's the most fun, almost the most fun to play live because more people get into that one than almost any other song we play because of the slam part. A lot of people start
Yes.
actually moshing.
Yeah.
If they weren't moshing, they're moshing now. The kid got his chip tooth during that song.
Yeah, we had a guy he got picked up and he actually got threw down and chipped his tooth on a beer
Someone
bottle.
threw a kid during your set.
No, they were carrying him.
Oh,
There was like
okay.
7 people up in the
I thought they
front.
just like picked him up and like yeet.
No, I wish that would have been better.
I mean, I've seen that happen, but still.
Yeah, it's definitely the one that makes people dance.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and it has a groove. It's like I don't know, I play a descending part and then it goes back into the do, do, do. Like it's a cool little, like just groovy.
Yeah.
I do an octave. It's just really cool.
Right.
And that one was funny because that's when we got to after the same. We're like, well, how do we go to the next part? And I was
Yeah.
like, Bray, just do like one of those like Lars Ulrich, like 8 counts.
Just right on the snare.
It was Lars, but good.
Yes. Lars, but on time.
We thought it'd be like corny enough to work. You know what I mean? At the time, you know,
Yeah.
it's cheesy, but it sounds real punchy. You know,
We definitely like our corny and cheesy stuff. We're like, what?
it's almost like a little inside joke. It's maybe not that
Yeah.
funny, but it's kind of just like a little
You just had to be there.
It just makes you giggle.
yeah,
Mhm.
because it's based off. I mean, because he doesn't do anything like Lars Ulrich, but that one snare roll.
Yeah,
You know?
it's almost. I think what is it? Sad but true.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you said at the beginning you hated old school metal.
I know.
Well, no. This is just a joke. This is a joke.
And then his head explodes.
The Lars thing. That's just a joke. I still hate it. I do when I play it. I'm not smiling. I'm
You know,
crying.
I find there's music that I hate where I'll find little things in there that I enjoy.
Mhm.
Like we talked about earlier, psychosexual.
Yeah.
Fucking hate psychosexual. But the guitar riffs are kind of
Psycho
cool. Oh yeah, Psycho Center. Sorry. Oh, don't take this video down, Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I said your name.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Taylor
even
Swift
had a
got
weird
to the
phase
first.
where I was like, does any music suck? You know what I mean? As it's weird to say, but I had a phase where I was like, if it sounded confident, I was like, does it really suck though? Because I mean, you'd use this riff and another good song. Like it was a weird, not even like similar to Midlife Crisis, where you're like, does anything actually suck? And it's probably when I was working night shifts and I was losing my mind.
Yoko Ono, always.
Yeah,
sucks.
Yoko Ono sucks.
But you know what I mean? It was just like a weird
Were you the
like.
one who dropped that cancer on my Facebook one day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Fucking hell.
did. Dude,
What was it?
yeah, Yoko Ono.
I said something about like terrible bands, and he's like, no, there's worse music, and drops like 2 Yoko Onos.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, this isn't even music. This is just some woman shrieking.
Yeah.
Like, this
Okay,
doesn't
but
even qualify.
There's 3 songs called Why on 3 different. Actually, no, 2 of them are on the same album. It's Why with a question mark instead of just Why, but they're all different songs. It's not like reiterations. She just forgets that she called a song Why already. I don't know if she forgot.
That's such a random thing to name a song multiple times.
I don't know. How do you forget about that one word song title?
That's the troll. You're here asking why.
Exactly.
She just got you.
Yeah.
She got you.
Go to your room.
Yoko Ono is like, she's just omnipotent. she baits you into asking why, and you're like, oh, that's why.
And then you look up the song.
I mean, you said why 20
She also has a
times.
song called Why Not. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, that's the
It's
one I'm
like-
thinking of. Why
it's
not?
like
Not why with
back
question
in the
mark.
70s.
Yeah.
It's like why and then why not. But then like in
Word.
more recent, she has. I don't care.
Was the
What's-
question, how much do you love Yoko Ono?
Yeah.
No, we just got really fucked off track.
Speaking of our
Hey,
influence,
for once, it wasn't my fault, okay?
No, Wheel of
Okay,
Fortune.
but Yoko Ono holds a special place, at least in my heart.
Alright, so last song I want to talk about
Oh
is...
boy.
Hang on, let me make sure we get the whole title right. Genie with a Fat Weenie. So my first question is, what the fuck?
There is multiple reasons for this title. and
Okay, I'd love to hear all of them.
So here's the number one reason. We want to make a super serious. Well, actually, no, it's not the number one reason. But
Do you want me to
the
explain?
big thing about it is it's a serious song with a goofy title.
So,
Totally.
Braden just has a list of funny things that he wanted me to make song titles, and Genie with a Fat Weenie was one of them. So I was like, all right, I think I can find a way to incorporate this into
they
something.
usually like the very first thing I told him. It's in our
Well,
messenger.
Crocodile, crocodile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, can you include the lyric "pocket dial, crocodile," and then just every now and then when I think of something, hey, can you add this to the song? Thanks. And then one of them was just,
Genie.
can you add Genie with the Fat Weenie into a song somewhere? Okay, thanks.
Well, then I was like, let's just make it a song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
then- and
we
I just
thought
have a
about it.
list of things that I've said.
Yeah, we thought about it. And we're like, maybe this can actually work because people are gonna see the name of that song and be like, "What the fuck?" and then they'll have to listen to it. So it was kind of like our little thing.
Yes.
Like System of a Down has really goofy names, but it's
Yeah.
always serious topics. So I was like, well, I think I could work that in, and it was like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff was going around, you know. So it's kind of like an illusion of that, and also kind of like, you know, sex trades and stuff, where you kind of like stuck in this position where you always feel like you have to do it to get money and stuff like that. It's a little more open ended, but that's basically the gist of.
So the idea of someone who grants your wishes, you know, a genie,
Yeah.
through, you know, like in Hollywood, they'd have like Terry Crews getting violated by that director, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For Impulse, which is the fat weenie.
So yeah,
You
so
know.
Genie is more of like the subjugator, the person that you have to do these degrading things for to grant your wish. So that's basically the genie part, is
Okay.
those people in that position.
Okay.
And then the lyrics are kind of like a back and forth between the subjugator and the victim.
It's actually a lot more well thought out.
Yeah.
Such a goofy ass song.
Yeah, no,
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's why we
I-
wanted to do it.
I rarely actually read the track list before I listen to an album. Normally, I just look at the album, I push play, and I put my phone in my pocket. But, you know, I know you guys, so I'm like, all right, let's look at the track. The fuck?
yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? It's the last song. We'll know when it happens.
Yeah. So our ploy worked. And,
Yeah.
you know, that was basically, you know, the whole idea between that song.
Right. Okay, cool. All right, so yes, cool.
I like how you got him with the musicians clickbait.
Yeah.
Like,
That's basically what Genie
It's
is.
like
It's
anytime we share that song, like you're gonna listen to at least a little bit of it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, the song's like it's dope, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm most proud of musically, honestly, because
Yeah.
I like the. It's like they're not really. They're just bar chords. You know what I mean? At the beginning, they're all. It's a chromatic transition, but it sounded pretty black metal to me. And then the verse, which is completely different from anything we do. The chorus, which is just octaves at a really high strings, like they're a huge string skip gap.
Yeah, but instrumentally, it really just sets the mood for the setting, because it starts out so like you think like you're gonna get the switch, it's so theatric, but then it just ends up being really crazy and chaotic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in the end is exhausting.
Oh,
play.
Definitely.
It's
Nah.
just doing all those fills and stuff. It's just
Can we
like,
thank you
come
for
on,
your
in this
service?
song.
Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
that was a really, because I think it was me that came up with the idea for doing those fills, because we were watching the
Oh, yeah.
drummer of Sepultura, the new one.
The dun 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 where he doesn't
Yeah.
feel to what exactly what I'm doing.
Yes.
And it's the only part in the album where like let's just repeat it over and over again like an outro. In fact, we had originally talked about doing it so many times it would fade out, but we weren't gonna play it 12 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or how many times we had planned on. So we did it 8 times. We went excessive, but then it ended up sounding cool because it's like Genie with a fat weenie as it ends. You know, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
all right. So, what are the upcoming goals for you guys now that you have this album out?
Play as many
Shows.
shows as we can. The bigger the better.
Yeah.
So
We just got a trailer, so we
Good.
need to be doing shows.
yeah, we're just gonna try and expand, you know, ourselves as much as we can.
Are you guys gonna try to play more in the city again?
Anywhere. We tried to. We had a show in Blue Note, but they ended up closing for renovation.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
which I was kind of upset about, because we're gonna play with Kill the Imposter.
That was the second
Yeah.
show that got canceled on us though, because I
Yes.
don't know what happened. We're gonna play at Reno's in Dallas, which this show has been in the making for so long.
It's
I
been
booked
a long
it.
time.
I booked it before COVID. Texas shut down. I don't even know if the talent agency that I talked to get the show is even open anymore. Then I talked to the social media promoter for the venue.
Mhm.
Got another show. It got canceled for I don't know what reasoning she had, but she said it wasn't going to happen. Now I have another date with them in February,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
5 months out. But we do want to play more in the city. If there's some like, I'd be open to any venue. Like we just don't know the venues that well because we don't
Yeah.
live here.
Right.
Just that type of thing, you know.
Yeah. So expand as much as we can, despite all the COVID shit and
Right.
everything going on. But we've made decent progress so far. So with this album officially out, we're gonna use that as our backing to just keep trucking forward.
Mhm.
Because we still have a Tulsa show coming up and
Yeah.
a spot show and
It's-
And that's Renee's.
yeah, that's
That's
in
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Well, that's my next question is what are your upcoming shows that you do have booked?
November 27th at Madison Renee's in Tulsa. We also have a show at The Spot, which is a place where we live in Enid. I'm pretty sure that one's December.
It's
Ten-
here,
It's
10.
the-
I think
it's
it's
the
10th.
10th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December 10th. and then the February show
And then
in Dallas.
we have a show at Reno's Chop Shop. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most recommended venue I had seen in Texas so far, and it's in Dallas, which isn't like 12 hours away. It's
Yeah.
only 5 hours away.
Just right into the camera.
Like this close? Good. Hey guys, it's Ryan from Death Sentience. Come to our shows in November 27th at Badass Renee's in Tulsa. Get closer.
Yeah, there you go.
10th.
At the spot.
With at the spot. December 10th at the spot in Enid. And then February 12th.
Should we have Reese do this?
Yes.
This is Reese Wagner from Death Sentience. Come and check us out. November 27th at Badass Renee's. December 10th at the spot. And February 12th at Reno's Chop Shop.
Don't look at me,
I don't
look
know
at
why
the
I have to
camera.
look away. I just have to.